Good evening, everybody. My name is Al Terminello Jr., and I have the privilege of being the co-chairman of the Revere Veterans Committee. And I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. And this is a very special evening for all of us, and we have more people coming, I'm sure, for the entertainment part of the evening. But this is the important part, because today is Veterans Day. It's to honor those who have served this country from Revere and from other cities and towns around the nation, who have given more than anybody can expect. So today is to honor our veterans, and veterans that are here today will be honored and recognized, and we appreciate everybody coming here. A special thanks to Mayor Dan Rizzo, Nick Boer, who's the Director of Veteran Services, who does a terrific job, and he'll be hearing from those gentlemen in a few minutes, helping the veterans all the time. And my buddy over there, Ira Novoselsky, City Councilor, Ward 2, also past National Commander of the Jewish War Veterans, past Commander of several other posts and around, an all-around good guy, and my partner and co-founder and co-chair of the Revere Veterans Committee. And welcome, obviously, to all the veterans and their families that are here tonight. So with that being said, tonight we have a very special group of people here that I'm very proud to say are part of the Revere school system. It's been something we've been talking about for over 6 years, that Revere deserved a program like this for our young people, and they now have a program like this that we're very honored to have, and they're going to be introduced formally later. But right now, I'd like the honor guard from the Revere High School Junior ROTC to please post the colors. Oh, will everybody please rise?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Present arms. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Pose. Mark. Post the colors. Present arms. right, straight. Palm left, mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for another moment, please. But again, that was the Revere High School Junior ROTC program. You're going to be hearing more about them, but not enough can be said about those fine young people from the Revere High School. So we really appreciate having them here. At this moment, I'd just like to make a notification of something that I was aware of this afternoon. A close friend of mine, a Marine, past commander of the Mottola Post 4524, an Eagle Scout from St. Anthony's Troop 5, along with myself, Joe Garza, also a Revere firefighter for many years, passed away today. So I'd like to have a moment of silence for Joe. He was a close friend. I grew up with him, and he served the country, he served his community, and he served his family with honor, and that's all we can ask of in this life. So just a moment of silence, please. Okay, now I'd like to call up Chaplain Len Piazza from Post 6712 to deliver the invocation, please. You're going to need both of these.
We need both of them?
Yes.
All right, hold on.
Yeah, there's a trick to holding them, but
Okay.
too complicated. Just hold them up.
The title of this would be called Veterans Day. Many people confuse Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Memorial Day is a day for remembering and honoring military personnel who died in the service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or as a result of wounds sustained in battle. While those who died are also remembered on Veterans Day, Veterans Day is the day set aside to thank and honor all of those who served honorably in the military in wartime or peacetime. In fact, Veterans Day is largely intended to thank living veterans for their service, to acknowledge that their contributions to our national security are appreciated, and to underscore the fact that all of those who served, not only those who died, have sacrificed and done their duty. During this Veterans Day, let's pause a moment to reflect on the sacrifices of our airmen, sailors, soldiers, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen who have made this country free and secure. For generations, they have answered the call to defend the freedoms and liberties that this country enjoys and sometimes takes for granted. Please remain standing. We'll have a prayer. Bless us, O Lord, in those and these thy gifts which we are about to receive from their bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, I appreciate you standing up this time. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, like we said earlier, today is Veterans Day, and it's a day to honor our veterans that are here. But it's hard when you talk to veterans anywhere that they don't remember those comrades, friends, who have either died in battle or have died as part of life's natural process. But either way, the people who make up the community that we call our veterans of Revere are a very select group and one that we treat with honor and respect. And I want to thank you all for your service to this country and make the Revere community proud. Thank you so much. I'd like now to call the Chief Executive Officer of the City of Revere, the Mayor Dan Rizzo, for a couple of words and to bring the greetings of the City of Revere. Mayor Rizzo.
Al, thank you very much, and Ira, thank you very much. This is really one of those days, as Lenny just indicated, you know, Memorial Day is kind of a sad day. It's a day to reflect on people who we've lost, primarily in battle over the years, World War I, World War II, and so on. But on Veterans Day, it's a day to celebrate. It's a day to celebrate service. And there's so many Revere residents that have put themselves in harm's way over the years, and all in the effort to keep our country what it is, a free and democratic society. So really, not much else can be said other than thank you from the city of Revere. You know, your service obviously means a lot, not only to the city, but to the country. And I'm very, very proud this year to have Sergeant Major Callender and his great young group of cadets. How about a nice round of applause for them? What a great job that they've done. In this, their first year, they've only been together since September. It's amazing what they have been able to accomplish. In fact, they've already won a competition, which is incredible to me because I don't know where you found the time to get all that practice in with these guys. So congratulations. I know we've got a great future with the program for these great young men and women. And also, I'd like to thank the Beachmont VFW, who always puts themselves out there with respect to veterans' causes. I know I'm a lifetime member here at the Beachmont VFW, and really, without their help and support, programs like this would not be possible. So thanks so much to the Beachmont VFW as well, and thank all of you for attending and taking your time out of your day. I know we were talking earlier, the Patriots were on today, so I know that was a big deterrent for a lot of people. But for those of you that took the time to come out and in honor and remembering our veterans, thank you so much for being here, and I'm glad to be here with you. Thanks so much.
Mr. Mayor, thank you so very much. By the way, Dan is also a veteran here for the Navy, isn't Dan? Mr. Mayor? Yes. So we're very proud of that fact, toward another fine veteran from the Revere community. Now it also comes this time is to mention our elected officials that are here and that are on here that are always supporting the veterans. The first one and foremost is our Speaker of the House and Revere State Representative Bob DeLeo, who's away in Italy, so the commute was a little bit hard. But he always has been there for the Revere Veterans Committee. He's there for veterans across the Commonwealth. He's there for everything for the city of Revere as its representative in Winthrop, obviously, but he sends his regrets for not being here, and he's always here. So, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for your support, and we're looking forward to that in the future. Next is also another champion for veterans and for Revere is Representative Kathy Ann Reinstein, who's out with a family event, who can't make it, but again, she sends her warm regards. And Kathy has always been there, a true fighter for veterans for a long time, and she was actually head of the Veterans Affairs Committee, I believe, at the State House. So again, Kathy Ann, thank you very much. And now, for our local city councilors, we have Councilor Bob Hass, former mayor of the city of Revere. We have Councilor at Large John Correggio. I already introduced him as my partner, but he's also a Revere City Councilor of Ward 2, is Ira Novoselsky. And we want to thank them. They're always, whatever we're running, anything that has to do with the veterans, that's all I can speak of. The rest of it is, as they go, they support Revere 100%. But I know whenever I come to any of these gentlemen here for the veterans, it's whatever you want, Al, it's yours. So again, I want to thank you for your support and for the veterans of the community. Thank you again very much. The next guy that's here is a gentleman I've known for over 25 years through his work with the veterans in East Boston, and we were lucky enough to get him here in Revere. It's Nick Boer. He is the Director of Veteran Services here in Revere, and I don't think you can find a finer man or a better worker for the veterans anywhere. And I'd stand right next to him and tell him that I'd compare him to anybody in the state. So without further ado, my friend, the veteran's friend, Nick Boer. Nick. There you go, pal.
Thank you. Yeah. This is interesting. Thank you, and thank you for attending this evening. Thank you to the Junior ROTC and the VFW Post 6712 for everything they've done for us. Anytime we ask for them, they're always here. So I just wish to thank them from the bottom of my heart. They've been so gracious, it's unreal. You know, we're very fortunate to have, if you walk through the city, a number of people that you would never expect were heroes. I mean, you just walk down there and they pass you by, and it's amazing. And many of these people, men and women, are heroes. They're heroes because, as I found out, there was one who was a Korean veteran who spent 3 years in a POW camp. We have another veteran, numerous veterans in the community who served in World War II, and it's amazing. Every time they come in my office, I ask them, please, is it all right if I give you a hug? And I give them a hug. And they really appreciate the recognition. And it's amazing that we have these gentlemen and ladies, and we have many veteran women. It's amazing that what they've done for our country. I got a letter from, actually an email, and it's about one of these heroes that you would never expect. And he served in the Merchant Marines. Many of us, Merchant Marines didn't really get the recognition for all that they've done for our country during World War II. They had one of the highest casualties in World War II. So this is a little, well, a little longer than a little email, but I wanted to read it tonight just to show what we've done for what our Merchant Marines have done for our country. Al was struck by an infection at age 12 that left him crippled with a bad hip and a shriveled leg that was 2 inches shorter than his good leg. He was on crutches for most of the next 6 years and told he may never walk again. Born in 1920, he was 21 years old, growing up in San Francisco when the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. He and his 2 younger brothers immediately went down to enlist in the Navy. The brothers were accepted, but Al was classified 4F and not physically allowed to join. He tried every branch of the service until the Merchant Marines accepted him. He became a steam engineer on the ship and supported the war effort in the Atlantic and the Pacific and the Mediterranean. The engine room was torpedoed and his ship was sunk. He and many of his shipmates were plucked from the water and survived. As the war wore on, Al served in the Pacific on our support ships in the Battle of Guadalcanal. His ship was attacked and began to sink. As he scrambled down the rope ladders to the lifeboat, a Japanese plane attacked and strafed him with shrapnel. He was struck down the side of his body and his leg. He fell in the life raft and was dragged ashore at the height of the battle. His mate struck down the side of his body. His mate had to leave him there and scramble for cover. He lay there bleeding. He was able most of his life to survive the catastrophe that he went through. This is the type of people that we have in our community. You would never expect this to happen. This gentleman happens to be Jack Nicholas, and so many stories like this go untold. And hopefully through the Historical Society, we can get a list of people with their story, the veterans, with some of their stories that they have, so we can have it documented, so future generations will appreciate everything that this great generation did for our country. I thank you very much for listening, and God bless America, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick. Again, fine job for the veterans in the city of Revere. Okay, I do have to introduce one other person here, and I'm going to get you out of the doghouse with this, Mr. Mayor. The mayor's wife, the lovely Jane Rizzo. And the first executive officer of the office over there is Sophia Forgione. Okay. With that being said, where am I? There's so many names, places, and posts here, which we're very fortunate to have in the city. I'd just like to mention at this point the posts and the commanders that to keep the veterans of the city of Revere going here. Obviously, this is post Beachmont Post 6712, which has been very gracious to give us the hall tonight, and they host a lot of functions and always there for the veterans. And their commander, Pat Caruso, we'd like to thank him. Have a round of applause for these people, please. We have the American Legion Post 61 with the commander, Ed Harrington. Jewish War Veterans, Prince Strauss Grauman Post 161, Commander Joe Cole. Now, I know Joe's here. How are you, my friend? Welcome. We have the Leon J. Matola Post 4524, again, which I had mentioned that my friend Joe Gaza was a past commander, but the current commander is another close friend of mine, former Revere police officer, is Dennis Michella. This is something new this year that everybody kind of got together and said we kind of would like to join all these posts and together and get this together. That way everybody's on the same page whenever we want to do something. So we started what we call the Revere Allied Veterans Council, which is a representative from each post around the city, and we have a president, Morris. So he's the first president of the Revere Veterans Combined Veterans Council. We also have, as far as helping veterans, everybody helps veterans. It's a great thing. It's a good thing, and nobody says no to veterans. The Patriot Civic Club, always there. The Revere Moose and the Revere Elks. We want to thank them for their support throughout the year. Hopefully, we have some special guests. I think they might be arriving a little bit late. Transportation gets to be kind of tough. But each year we also invite some of the residents from the Chelsea Soldiers Home, which are near and dear to our hearts over here. The residents over there are great. They love to hear from people. They like people to stop by and say, hey, even if they don't know you, they just like to have somebody to talk to. That's a great place for them. So hopefully they'll be joining us later. And the next thing is I'd like to introduce a member of the Revere School Department that's here, the school committee, which everybody seems to be pointing out that I forgot, but I didn't forget. It's just as we bring things together. So again, my close friend and a very hard worker for the children of this Revere school system, Donna Pruitt. Okay, so that takes care of everybody around that was pointing at Donna. So you know you have a lot of votes here anyway, Donna. But again, everybody's been here. Now I get to shamelessly thank everybody that's kind of contributed to us throughout the summer. As you know, we do an extensive program around here. We have a lot of barbecues. Boy, do we have a lot of barbecues. I know because I personally cooked for 700 people this summer. Glad to do it. That's why my diet and me just don't get along. I get to sample everything I cook, make sure that it's cooked to perfection. So, but yeah, so we do a lot of barbecues, and we're glad to do it. It's good community effort, keeps everybody happy, and we really don't make much money because there's only a couple of bucks for me and Ira to go to Hawaii for a couple of weeks a year out of it, and other than that, there's really not much left. But there are people who endlessly support our organization. First of all, and you'll see the sampling of his pastry and everything, is Danny Liberto from Liberto's Bakery. Let's hear it for Danny, because I mean, it's not just the veterans, it's anything in the city of Revere he's there for. He's a tremendous man. I actually put a bag over my head when I go in there to buy stuff, because sometimes no, Danny, please. He's great. He's a great guy. The other one is Happy Farms on Broadway there. It's they're tremendous. KM Foods in Chelsea, our neighbors, they forever, whenever we ask, they're always there, so we want to thank them. And one other place, which is my favorite as far as meat and sausages, is Bianco Meats. There's no other sausage on the planet. So they're very good to us also. So again, let's have a round of applause for everybody. They're there constantly for us. Now, again, we mentioned him before, we're going to mention him again, but he does do a lot, is Morris Morris. He's provided music over the summer at most of our events. So again, Morris, thank you very much for your efforts for the city and for everything that you do. Again, the Beachmont VFW Post 6712 for donating the hall and donating their services. And anytime I've come to them, they've been gracious to accommodate. And there's a group of people that are here tonight. The Ladies Auxiliary from 6712. They're going to be setting up. They're going to help with the food. They're going to there in June, who's the president of the Ladies Auxiliary, is forever calling me to make sure that everything is done in the best way we can for tonight's event. So again, to those ladies, thank you very much. And we also have another group of ladies. And I use that word a little bit loosely because there's usually a gentleman that's floating around with them. From the ladies and gentlemen of the Revere First, led by Rose Napolitano. And they're out there selling raffle tickets for us, collecting tickets at the door, and anything else that's required of them, they do. And we do have the president here. Now, I use the word president because he is the president. He's the new president. And he's the new president of the Revere Council on the Aging, is my good friend, who's part of the gentleman that I mentioned, Nick Jacoby. Nick, please take it. Thank you, Mr. President, for being here. So at this point, we do have some, which is customary here and for our event, is some presentations. So we're going to get to those right now. So I like to call it my partner. There he is. It's hard to find him. He's always sneaking up on me. Okay, which one do you have again? Okay, the first one. And again, goes without saying, this gentleman, he's the president of the Revere Allied Veterans Council. He's the music of the Revere Senior Center. He's the music of anything that we ask him to do. He's there with a never-ending energy to say yes. Is Morris Morris. So, President Morris Morris, would you please step forward, please? Rose. A minute? Okay. In the middle. Morris, with the deepest appreciation, and it took us all of about 10 seconds to decide who the first presentation was going to go to. I want to congratulate you for being one of the best citizens of Revere.
Thank you.
And one of the top DJs in the city. Go ahead.
Could you just mention that we have a TV program, Channel 8?
Yes. Yes, I will. I can mention that. The Revere Veterans, also, Morris is the host of the Revere Veterans TV show. They'll call it Revere Vets Corner, is that? Revere Veterans Corner, which I was privileged to be on the show. Ira was privileged to be on the show, and Nick, he's hitting us all up. We're getting everybody in there. Former Mayor Haas, City Councilor. We had, so he's got a, Mayor, have you been on there yet?
No, but we got him booked.
Oh, he's booked. He's booked. So Morris has got his list of who's who, I guess. So we're proud to have that program showing on Revere TV.
Every Tuesday night at 6 or Friday.
You're going to have to buy some airtime for this one, okay? Morris, again, let's get him out of here. With the deepest gratitude of everything you do for the veterans in the city of Revere. Ladies, come right up here. Don't be shy. Rose, come up here. Get close. You gotta get close.
Don't break the camera.
Anytime you're ready. The next presentation is we're going to call upon Sergeant Major Callender from the Revere Junior ROTC program. This program is headed by Major Boker. And again, I can't say enough about how great this program is for the city of Revere and what they have accomplished in a couple of short months. Tonight we are going to be taking a collection up for the Junior ROTC, and Ira and I spoke that we're going to make this one of our pet projects for the year. They need flags to maintain any type of competition that they're in or anything that they do as far as representing them. They're borrowing the flags that they use. They would like their own, and we would love to provide them with them. Now, I know I don't expect to get the $1,600 tonight, but please, when you think about where it's going to the students of Revere High who actually volunteered to be part of this program. And the city of Revere, in order to get this program, has to fund it 100% until it's deemed that it's on its own and functioning program. Then there's funds available through the state and the federal government. But until then, the city of Revere footed the bill for this fine program because they thought it was worth it. And believe me, it is. If you saw the way that you see the way they came in and the way they handled themselves, they'll make the city of Revere very proud. So, with all that being said, Sergeant Major Callender, you did a fine job. You do a fine job with them. You do Revere proud with this program. So we'd like to present you with a certificate of thanks from the veterans of the city of Revere. Thank you very much. Photo up.
I just want to say, we have to give credit where credit's due to everybody in this program. But a couple of years ago, the guy that really wanted to make this thing happen was Nick Boer. And I got to give Nick the credit for getting this going and going to President Garcia, high school principal, Dr. Garcia, and going to the mayor last year, Mayor Ambrosino, and the school department to make this thing happen. But Nick's the one that kicked this thing off. And I really got to give him the credit for making this happen, and I thank you, Nick, for that. Thank you.
Okay, again, thank you very much, Sergeant Major. Great job, great job. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause. Those fine students at Revere High, members of the Junior ROTC program. So we're going to do with that one. Okay. Yes, we do. I have somebody. Okay, the next one. And again, we've mentioned this before. I can't mention it enough how great they are to the veterans of the city of Revere. This beautiful hall that was renovated, they've always made it available to us, and the people that are in it, especially the ladies auxiliary, are terrific. So we're going to present Beachmont VFW Post 6712 with a certificate today because not only for tonight's business, but they were the host post for the Memorial Day services, which meant that they funded the lunch that was held after the ceremony. And that's how they become the host. Every year it changes, it goes from post to post, so they all get a chance to be the host and be mentioned that way. But everybody, it's a joint effort across the city for veterans. Everybody's treated the same, and we're very proud of all of them. But this year's host post for the Memorial Day services is presented to the VFW Post 6712, and I'm going to ask, their commander is not here, so I'm going to ask Len Piazza to please accept their certificate. Congratulations, Len.
Thank you very much. There we go.
Mr. Mayor, front and center, please. You know, having a few connections in Washington, D.C., a few things come to me as my position as the past National Commander of Jewish War Veterans. And what was sent to me from the Department of Veterans Affairs was a remembrance of today, Veterans Day. I don't know if anybody noticed that I was wearing a pin that I got that they give out at Arlington National Cemetery at our event every year that we have it. And I want to present one to our mayor to wear proud as a fellow veteran and a good friend. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Anytime.
Well, that was good. And ladies and gentlemen, all kidding aside, the young lady that's volunteering that I'm giving orders to about taking is my girlfriend for a long time. And she's put up with a lot for me. And now tonight, getting back in orders at her about taking pictures. So, Rose, I just want to officially thank you. And I put you on the spot when you walked in here, and I said, here, take pictures. So, again, thank you. She puts up with a lot for me because I'm pretty much involved in everything in this community. And so being home and being the best of boyfriends is not exactly always the best on top of my list, but I try. All the money that we use, other than our vacation to Hawaii, goes directly back to the veterans organizations across the city. We do have, which we're very proud of, the last 3 or 4 years now, and we've only been in existence for like 6 or 7 years. The Revere Veterans Committee, 6. 9. I've been doing this for 9 years. I quit. No, I only signed up for 5 years. I didn't know what happened. But we have a veterans committee scholarship, $250 right now. Well, hopefully maybe we can expand that in the future. But we give a Revere High student a $250 scholarship who's going into the armed forces. Not so much, we call it a scholarship. It's usually a cash award. But again, if he's giving up his time and his position to go into the armed services, it's a little something from the Revere Veterans Committee to do whatever he needs to get to going wherever he's going, along with our prayers and hopes for a safe return, obviously. So, and then we are going to be doing a collection. Like I said, there they are, ladies and gentlemen, the Revere High School Junior ROTC program. We are very proud of all of us, and thank you very much for being here. They haven't refused Revere one thing since September, so we're not going to refuse them tonight. So please, I know it's money, but it's a program that's well worth it. Their futures, Revere's pride, I'm sure we can do something to help them out for their flags, for their ceremonies. With that, I'm going to call this a close to the end of this official part of the Veterans Day services. I want to thank everybody here for participating in that. It means an awful lot. But before I do, I'd like to have all the veterans that are present here tonight to please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, the only reason why this country is as great as it is because of people as great as them. Huh? Okay, you want to do it? We have an introduction. Please be seated. And again, with the deepest gratitude, thank you of everybody. Now, we have one final introduction, and if you can see, he's dressed a little funny.
Actually, he's all cammied up, so we really can't see him. So there he is. Ladies and gentlemen, before us stands Sergeant Ken Marciano. He is a recruiter from the Mass National Guard who actually took my job when I left on the recruiting force. So I welcome you, Sarge, and good luck to you, and thank you for all your work and taking care of our kids.
You want to bring this show to a close?
And by the way, happy birthday to our Marines.
Hoorah!
Right? Hoorah is right. Semper Fi. And just so those who didn't know, our National Guard is the oldest military service Massachusetts? That's correct. 370 odd years? 77. There you go. So remember us, remember our guys, our gals, and ladies and gentlemen, have fun for the next few minutes till the food is here, and enjoy the evening, and thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much, Ira. And again, thank you very much. And I do want to thank Alan LaBella. He's here every year for us. He helps us out. And he's going to have some terrific music for the rest of the evening. The food will be here. Good night. God bless. God bless you, veterans. God bless Revere. God bless the United States of America. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.